And now 50 useless facts about tsunamis. Tsunamis are usually caused by earthquakes. They can also be caused by landslides, volcanic eruptions, a meteorite, or a fast change in atmospheric pressure. Almost 100% of all tsunami-related fatalities have occurred 160 miles away or 250 kilometers from its source point. In minutes, about 30 minutes away from its origin. So if you live in a coastal area and you experience an earthquake, take that as an early warning for an impending tsunami. Leave your PlayStation on if you live in a low-lying coastal area. Up to half an hour before a tsunami strikes, the ocean can, but it's not a rule, suddenly appear to drain away. The withdrawal of water is called the drawback and is the throw of the tsunami reaching the shore. And the tsunami is not a single wave, it's a series of waves called the wave train. The time that passes between huge waves is called wave period, and the period of time that passes between waves can be a few minutes or up to 2 hours. Unfortunately, the first wave is not the strongest. The strongest waves are the 5th and 6th wave, and this causes a few problems. After the first wave has passed and people survived, they might feel the urge to go to the beach and watch what happened, save stranded animals, help anybody in need, start looting. But if you survived the first wave, don't go home relaxed that everything has passed or start strolling the beach. Run as fast as you can to the highest point you can reach, not straight into the sea. If you're in the ocean on a boat after a tsunami started, you might not even feel or know that has occurred if you're not right on top of it. The waves at this point have anywhere from 1 to 5 feet, around 1 meter, and they don't feel any special. The first person to associate tsunamis with underwater earthquakes was the Greek historian Thucydides, and in his history of the Peloponnesian War, he made this association. Unfortunately, people are often confused when a tsunami drawback occurs and are unaware of the tsunami that's forming and the impending disaster. One of the largest earthquakes in recorded history occurred 100 miles away from Chile on the 22nd of May 1960. Just 15 minutes after the 9.5 earthquake, 80-foot waves struck the coast. 15 hours later, tsunami waves struck Hawaii, and finally, 10,000 miles away, 22 hours after the earthquake, the tsunami struck Japan. While waves generated by wind may travel anywhere from around 2 to 60 miles an hour, 3 to 100 kilometers, tsunami waves can travel at speeds of 600 miles or almost 1000 kilometers per hour, the speed of a jet plane. Scientists believe that an asteroid struck the Indian Ocean about 5,000 years ago. The tsunami that resulted is theorized to have been approximately 600 feet or almost 200 meters high. While no one has witnessed a tsunami caused by a meteorite, many scientists think that a meteorite may have created a tsunami that wiped out life on Earth more than 3.5 billion years ago. Earthquake-induced tsunamis are created along subduction zones or when a lighter tectonic plate is forced above a heavier plate. The sudden rise or fall of the ocean floor displaces the entire overlying water column. This rise and fall of the ocean level above the earthquake generates a tsunami. A tsunami will not generate if the tectonic plates only slide one upon another, past each other, or split when they meet. Tsunami leave their mark on the map of the beach or coastline long after they've gone. If you see lighter patches of coastal area, that might be a sign of a tsunami passing by and destroying vegetation. Still, palm trees with their long bare trunks are well adapted to life on the shore and have often survived tsunamis intact. After the Indian Ocean tsunami of 2004, almost 300,000 people were killed or missing. Victims included not only local people, but approximately 10,000 tourists from around the world who were spending their Christmas vacations at the beach resorts in Southeast Asia. After Southeast Asia, scientists believe that the next mega tsunami will hit the region of the Canary Islands. This mega tsunami could cross the Atlantic Ocean and devastate US coastline cities like Boston, New York, California, and Miami. The waves could reach 100 feet or over 30 meters. And a mega tsunami is usually caused by a landslide. It's a tsunami with extremely high waves. The latest to occur on American soil was in Alaska in 1958 on Latuya Bay. It created the tallest tsunami ever recorded at 1,700 feet or 530 meters. Fortunately, only 2 people died. How I said earlier, the first wave is not the most dangerous, and that has more than just the reason of bigger waves to follow. People after the first wave often think the worst has past and they start strolling the beach to help pets, stranded animals, people, to loot, only to get engulfed in another tsunami wave minutes later. If you get caught by a tsunami wave, it's better not to swim, but rather to grab a floating object and allow the current to carry you. If you are in a new relationship with a girl named Rose, I advise you to break it up as soon as the first wave or the water withdraws. She will take your raft. Seisures are like tsunamis, but instead of occurring in seas and oceans, they occur in enclosed bodies of water such as lakes or inland seas. They are usually smaller and less harmful than tsunamis. Wind is the most common cause of seisures. And tsunami, the word, comes from Japan. Japan is prone to tsunamis, prone to earthquakes. 80% of all tsunamis occur in the Ring of Fire around the Pacific Ocean region where Japan is located. And tsunami means tsu, harbor, plus nami, wave. Harbor wave. Regular waves blown by wind can reach up to 100 kilometers per hour. They range from 3 to 100 kilometers per hour, 2 miles to 60 miles. Tsunamis aren't that fast when they reach coastlines. Until the coastline is reached, they have no natural obstacles. They find little resistance against water. They start slowing down as they reach the coast and have to travel on sand, for example. So when they reach the coast, the speed is only 35 kilometers per hour. The speed as it moves inland changes dramatically depending on the slope of the beach and the shore environment. The force of the tsunami backwash can be just as strong and in some cases, depending on the slope when redrawing, stronger than when they hit inland. The Indonesian tsunami of 2004 was caused by an earthquake, a 9.0 Richter scale earthquake. It released more energy than all the earthquakes on the planet in the last 25 years combined. A segment of seafloor the size of the state of California moved upward and seaward by more than 30 feet or 10 meters, displacing huge amounts of water. Today, the state at the greatest risk for a tsunami is Hawaii. It experiences about one tsunami a year and a damaging tsunami every 7 years. Going back to the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami, most of the people that were killed were women and children, unfortunately for two reasons. Women were waiting for their husbands to come home from fishing, and children were just too weak to survive, to swim or to run fast enough in front of the waves. Many were shocked and just stood still. About a third were women and children. In some areas, 4 times more women died than men, and in total a third of all killed were children. This tsunami uncovered the lost city of Mahabalipuram, the capital of a powerful kingdom that traded with Rome, China, Arabia, Greece and Egypt 1,500 years ago. It is said that the capital was swelled by the sea at the height of its glory. Unfortunately, tsunamis don't kill just when they hit land. Tsunamis can poison fresh water on the surface, groundwater. They rip or destroy or poison plants. They leave behind large amounts of salt. Plants don't live in salty water. And thousands of people can die of starvation and disease long after a tsunami is gone. Infrastructure can be wiped out. Hospitals, roads, trains and party buses can be wiped out. A tsunami hits land with thousands of times the power of a regular wave. Regular waves are caused by wind pushing water at the surface of the ocean. Tsunami waves are created by an event that affects the entire water column from the ocean floor to its surface. Some animals may have the ability to detect impending natural disasters. Hours before the Indian Ocean tsunami, people reported seeing elephants and flamingos heading for higher ground. Dogs and zoo animals refused to leave their shelters, and after the tsunami, very few animals were found dead. Tsunami waves don't look like regular waves. They don't break and curl while they advance and come closer to people. From a distance, they resemble an instant flood. They come as rapid as floods of water or in the form of a bore, which is a large, steep wave that looks like a wall of water, not a wave. It's mesmerizing. As a tsunami wave approaches shallow water near land, it slows down to about 20-30 miles an hour, 30-50 kilometers. As it slows, all the water that had been traveling so fast pulls up. This is what causes the wave to grow higher and higher. Water is pushed inland from the source with over 100 kilometers per hour or 60 miles per hour speed, and it hits congestion like traffic. A lot of water coming in fast, having nowhere to go because things slow down. By the time it hits shore, a tsunami wave can reach over 100 feet high or 30 meters or as tall as a 10-story building. Some geologists suggest that ancient tsunamis are the source of ancient legends such as the destruction of the Minoan civilization on the island of Crete, or Bible stories of Noah's flood, or the parting of the Red Sea during the exodus of the Israelites from Egypt. These are not the only two tsunamis linked to religion. The 1775 Lisbon earthquake, followed by a tsunami, terrified citizens and made them run to shores in order to avoid buildings falling over them. They did not know or have ever seen before that a tsunami and were amazed to see the seawater retract, rushing away from the shore. Minutes later, a tsunami wave arrived and almost 100,000 people were killed. How is this linked to religion? The earthquake and tsunami inspired developments in theodicy, or the question of why God allows bad things to happen to good people. Of course, this is true only if you believe you are a good person. The Bible says that in the world there isn't even one good person. So bad things happen to bad people. We are all bad, equally deserving of bad things if you go down that line. In the last 2000 years, earthquakes in the Pacific Ocean, the most prone ocean to tsunamis have taken the lives of over 500,000 people. The plural of tsunami can be tsunamis or just tsunami. And tsunamis aren't new things. They've been known for at least 4,000 years when they were first reported in ancient China. Reports and movies show that most people try to escape a tsunami using their car. When most people try to get in their car and use the same road, congestion happens. A lot of people get caught in their cars and just die. The best practice is to run on foot to the highest point you can reach. Of the three major oceans, only the Pacific Ocean has an integrated multinational tsunami warning system. There was no tsunami warning system in the Indian Ocean in 2004, though experts have recommended one to be installed. What do experts know? Nothing. On the other hand, Japan, because of its long history of devastating tsunamis, had the most advanced tsunami warning system in the world prior to the 2011 tsunami. It consisted of more than 500 water level gauges and 1,500 seismometers. Japan's tsunami warning isn't cheap. It costs around $20 million a year to run. In the 2011 tsunami in Japan, only 22,000 people died or went missing. It's estimated to be the world's most expensive disaster in history. Rebuilding tsunami-affected areas of Japan cost over $200 billion and took over 5 years to complete. The tsunami occurred on March 11, 2011, after a magnitude 9 earthquake unleashed a savage wave that devastated the country. The earthquake was the 5th largest earthquake since the beginning of the 20th century, and it has been 1,200 years since an earthquake of this magnitude struck the plate boundary of Japan. Almost 200,000 people were evacuated after the earthquake and tsunami damaged the main cooling systems of generators at the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear complex in Japan. Fortunately, there wasn't a nuclear disaster, nobody died. And in closing, nobody is safe from tsunamis. They retain most of their energy from the starting point, meaning that they are cross-Atlantic. They can travel across entire oceans with minimal energy loss. This type of tsunami is called a transoceanic or a tele-tsunami, and the other type, it's called a local tsunami that hits the closest shores. And that's all for today. I hope none of you have ever experienced a tsunami or don't know anybody that has or hasn't experienced the trauma of losing somebody in the water. Don't forget to share, like and subscribe, and until next time, beware of the falling waves and apples.